What's going on, everyone? Wait, hold on. There we go. Welcome. Welcome to another development stream of Scalemarch. Hold on. Okay. Uh what what will we do today? I'm gonna work on Steam page has not been released yet. At this point, the only thing I have left to do is the screenshots. I've done everything else. And I wanted to hold off a little bit and take today as a day to just visually improve things a little bit and get some screenshots ready for the Steam page. So, either today or tomorrow. Maybe I'll do one more stream of this tomorrow as well, but I would say I'm going to submit everything I need, if not by the weekend, then during the weekend. So, that is the plan. As for what we were doing last time, that has to hold off. That is a completely different system. We'll probably do that after I get the Steam page done. So maybe next week. It's definitely interesting to work on, though, for sure. It's a difficult problem to solve. Maybe if we have some time today, I can do some more planning, run through some more examples for the chemistry engine. But today, I just want to get some basic things in. So actually, I've written down what I want to do. So I want to add shadows to the 3D nodes. And then just improve the look of the biomes a little bit, like the coloration of the grass. And then the actual biome generation itself. And then I think that would be a good, like, bare minimum of stuff to do. All of this stuff will be pretty easy to get done. So we might have some time afterwards. We'll see. There's always some sort of caveat that makes it take like 4 extra hours. Hopefully not today. Here's what we have so far. I'm trying to think about the visuals of the game. We also changed the water, which I think it is an improvement from what we had previously. It's still not perfect, but it should be good enough for getting screenshots for the game. We definitely need to improve the contrast between the trees and the grass. And I'm still not sure if I want to have the shadows baked into the images themselves. I should consider hand painting more of this stuff. Maybe not the trees, but the rocks. I don't know. I feel like it's the art style is not very well defined. Like, these kind of look like more realistic baked thing. Maybe I could just fix this by adjusting the shaders. These look kind of more like realistically shaded, but then the trees are more like cartoon, like the color ramping is done in steps. So I might want to do something about that. But yeah, the first thing I want to do is get like the dragon model, because this is being rendered in 3D, and I just want to like cast a shadow from that. And that's probably just going to be done in the form of like a transparent shadow catcher, which should be pretty easy to do. If I add it to the origin shift group, can I do that in 3D? I don't know. I don't know exactly how the 3D scene is being represented. I don't remember exactly. But I'm just gonna start with like a plane and see what happens. Go from there. I think it'll be useful to add the Drake in really quick. And I still don't know if I want to do like a full-on creature creator. Oh god. That would get rid of the ability to just screenshot the entire build, but I shouldn't like keep, you know, holding on to that regardless of its viability. I'll have to think about it. Yeah. chemistry system I know for sure I want to redo. Or I kind of have to redo it. If I want to add all the things I want to add in. Yeah, under sub viewport, let me add, would it be a mesh instance? Mesh instance 3D. And I'm going to call this shadow catcher. Oh, and let me also add in the Drake. Test this. Okay. Use a plane here. I guess we could use a plane or a quad, assuming it lets us control the resolution of the plane. I don't know that it does. Okay, let me use a quad. Yeah, now the rotation's different. But I think we could probably adjust that here. What about face Y? Okay. Why can't I see it? Is it because of the world 3D thing? Or whatever? Can I see it in here? It's probably too small, if I had to guess. Let me just set the size to like 1,000 by 1,000 for now. Okay, and it is not receiving any light. Oh. Right, we don't actually have any light sources here. I suppose we could add one. Because right now the lighting is sort of being done through the shader itself. Or like the diffuse part of the shader is not taking in light inputs from like the nodes when doing the light calculations. The light is like baked into the shader, and doing it that way we can't really have interaction with like Godot's built-in shadow stuff. So what is OmniLight 3D? Oh. GP particles collision. I don't know what this is. We'll do a directional light. Like the sun. Okay, I'm gonna turn Own World 3D on really quick. Or off? Or on? I don't know. Oh shoot. Okay, it seems like there's some kind of ambient light or something. Could be messing this up. It should allow us to like preview the look of it though. Okay. Where is the front side of the light? I thought it was the blue arrow. Where is it pointing right now? Okay, let's find the brightest angle. The hell? Okay, and then a little bit in front. But hold on, what is the actual direction of the camera? Well, we have the dragon. We can use that to preview it. Okay, so we actually want to rotate it a little bit behind the dragon. And hold on, is this plane covering the entire viewport? Let me see. When it saves, let me double the size. Okay, turn on shadows. What do we have? Nothing. Directional shadow? I don't know. Do we have to make the... Oh, we probably have to turn shadows on in the shader. Yeah. Yeah, just to test that, let me go back to world for a second. If I just add in a mesh instance, with, and I could probably switch the shader code to use the actual lights from the scene. Although I don't know if I could use that in the diffuse pass. Yeah, sphere mesh. It's very small. Um, increase the radius. Whoa. Hold on. Okay, ended up times 2. So it's casting a shadow. And because everything is using scales that correlate to the pixel value, our shadow casting distance, like our view distance for the shadows, is very low. But the shadows should be working, so yeah, I think it is just a shader thing. So I should be able to go into, if I can find it, enemy.gd shader. Render mode, unshaded depth draw always, shadows disabled. Shadow to opacity, debug shadow splits. What if I turned off unshaded? Maybe depth draw always? Hmm. Okay. Interesting. Why is it not? Is it because of the alpha blending? Is that what it is? Oh, that might actually be it. Wait, do we even have that on? Hold on. We're setting the alpha. Okay, what if we just don't modify that? Okay. Um, it's not submerged by default, is it? Let me look this up. Godot setting alpha in shader disables shadows. Okay, depth, free pass alpha. All right. The magic combination of letters that I needed. I found it. No, I guess the shadows are drawn in like the depth pass. I'm not exactly sure how shaders work, but I guess when it's like rasterizing the triangulars or figuring out the depth that each triangle has, it stores based off of that like shadow data. So it must be related to that. And then depth pre-pass alpha, it probably does the pass preemptively before the alpha is like taken into account. If I had to guess, that would be my interpretation. Okay, how do we change the shadow cast distance? Would that be a setting on the light here? I guess so. I'm gonna keep an eye on this setting. I'm gonna keep a mental eye on this setting though. Hopefully it doesn't cause any performance issues. Alright, how does that look now in the world? And that kind of also tells me how we can turn it into a shadow caster. If we have to use a custom shader. Or a shadow catcher. Do I not have the scene open? Hmm. Okay, I think the shadow is doing something. Flip faces. Okay, I think we're gonna use a shader for this. I should organize this. I should. I guess I'll put it in stages. Material overlay. Not sure what that does. Shut up. Audio. I should turn this stuff off. I gotta figure out the exact things I need to make it sound like it's outside. Let me turn off the reverb. I don't know what the limit. Okay, we'll keep the limiter on. I think I'm just gonna turn the reverb off. Uh, I'm only gonna worry about screenshots at first though, so that is not necessary for the Steam page side of things. Alright, render mode, depth, pre-pass alpha, and then in the fragment, we just say alpha equals 0. It's not working. Okay, that must be for casting shadows. Hold on. Depth draw always? We know it's depth related. Depth draw opaque. Whoa. Wait. Oh. Okay, Godot, how to make transparent shadow catcher. The power of the internet. Oh, my VPN is on. Hold on.